Hey you guys, I'm really excited for this one. This is a custom video by Gabrielle. Thank you so much, Gabrielle. This idea is, I'm so pumped. What I'm going to be doing is talking about my friends, which makes me very happy because I love my friends a lot. Gabrielle had the idea for me to share about some of my closest friends and kind of use an item to make sounds with as I share about them, maybe a special memory with them, a bit about them, etc. And intermittently, I'm going to use this nice pillowcase actually, like it's a pillow with the pillowcase on it. I was going to do a sheet, but in order to have my voice and the sounds here all together close, I went with a pillow with this fabric, so we're going to do fabric smoothing and scratching as we chat. So I hope you guys enjoy. I apologise for this little wire here. Usually I kind of put this in my shirt, but because of the pillow situation, it's going to be hanging out with us here today. So I'm going to start off with my my bestie. And the item that I have for her are actually these fun rings. I'm not going to say their names, but I will say their first initial. So this is J. J has been one of my closest friends for, gosh, let's see, probably 13, 14 years now. And she had given me these rings for, like, I think it was for Christmas or birthday or something like that at one point, because she knew they'd sound great for the channel. So she just was thinking about you guys, and I thought that was really sweet. And so I'm going to use these for the item to represent her, because she's an incredibly supportive friend, incredibly supportive, and so this is just one of the many ways she's been supportive of me. Just supporting the channel, supporting my life completely. She's been amazing. So I've got these fun rings. I think I'm actually going to put them on both hands. I did a video with them a while ago, and there's like a way that I can get them on my fingers that just sounds really cool. Let me see. I have to make this one a bit smaller because it won't fit on my pinky, but that's what it was. Just kind of a fun little clanking sound that they make. So as I share a bit about her, I'm just going to tap on these, shake them a bit, and do some fun little sounds with them. So you guys have heard a lot of stories about her. She is my friend that I lived with during COVID when I was going through a divorce, and she's the mom of the twin boys that you heard stories about for a really long time. I thought of one story that kind of fits our dynamic and how much fun we have together. I was visiting her in France, so she's half French, half American, currently living in France. So I was visiting her in France, and we were on like a little drive through some of the mountains in her area, and we were laughing our heads off and talking about how we should do the amazing race together. and just having like the sweetest time together, and we just laugh really hard. It's like we're the Italian and French versions of one another in some ways, in terms of we're both very direct in our style of conflict. Like, we just kind of go at it like directly and want to talk about things. That's one of my favorite things about her, is that I know we can work through any issue in our friendship because we're both willing to talk about it, and we both do not want to lose each other, like do not want to lose the other one, because we just mean a lot to each other. And I just know we could talk through anything. I know she's the kind of person that would be willing to and loves me enough to do that no matter what, and she knows that I love her enough to do that no matter what too. So she just means the world to me. And I mean, she let me live with her family for 8 months when I was going through divorce. Anyway, so back to the story. We're driving in the mountains of France, talking about how we should be in an amazing race together and laughing and like, I don't know, just talking about funny details. And it's honestly something we probably could do together. We wouldn't, because there's some like logistical things, but like it'd be fun. Is it The Amazing Race? I think so. Anyway, I've never watched it. She had, and she was like, this would be our thing. Because it's the one that's around the world, right? You have to like have different languages and skills, and I don't know. Anyway, we've got a lot of those things combined. So yeah, winding streets and stuff, and then suddenly like we realised we're absolutely going the wrong way. The GPS was trying to lead us wherever we were going, and we suddenly broke into this bit that we both like committed to 100%, where we were acting like the GPS, like we were talking as if we were the GPS, and it was like the point of view being like, if your GPS yelled at you when you went the wrong way, didn't listen to it. And she was doing it in a French accent, and I was attempting to do it in, I don't know, some kind of French-Italian thing that I was doing. I don't know. Her dad is French, so she can do a perfect spot-on French accent, like speaking English but with a French accent. It's hilarious when she imitates her father. Anyway, so I was trying to do some Italian thing on the side, and we were both very loud and like talking like as if we were the GPS, yelling at us for going the wrong way. And actually, I had been filming at the time for you guys. I was like filming the road to like show you guys some of France, you know. And I happened to be filming when we went the wrong way, so we like pulled into someone's driveway, and then we both started joking about it, and we just ended up like in this full bit that lasted a while. And so I did actually put it on the channel like as a short clip, but I've taken all those videos down that I used to put on for like funny things I'd see in Egypt and in different countries I traveled to, because like it was messing up the algorithm and stuff. So I'm trying to figure out another way to share those videos with you guys, by the way. But yeah, maybe some of you saw it. It was probably 2 years ago, and it was us pretending to be the GPS, shouting in an accent, like depending on which country you're in. Anyway, that's us in a nutshell. And I love her with all my heart. And her kids. I love them so much. They're some of my nuggets. I call them my nuggets too. I love them. Okay. Next, I'm gonna move on to my friend. Let's go with this. I'm gonna use this like each item, like I said, is gonna be somehow connected to what I'm sharing about my friend, or something special about them. So I didn't have Play-Doh, but Play-Doh's what I wanted for this video. This is the closest that I have to Play-Doh. It's a nano adhesive fun not slime so much. You'll see. We're gonna play with it a little bit. As I share about my friend, she's also Jay. So Jay, I've been friends with for, let's see, I think it's probably like 16 years. Wow. And we met shortly after she moved from the state she grew up in to the state that I live in, or that I lived in. And yeah, I was like in a young adults like group at my church, and she like walked in, and we just had like an immediate chemistry, and it was just really sweet. In fact, we both distinctly remember two separate people walking up to us that night, because we sat by each other and just started talking to get to know each other. And both of those people were like, so how long have you guys been friends for? We're like, a good 20 minutes. But they were like, oh my gosh, it seemed like you guys been friends forever. We're like, we feel the same way. We're glad you're affirming that first. And we've been friends ever since. I love her. She's so down to earth. She currently lives in Peru. It's pretty cool. A lot of my friends live in a lot of different places. You're going to find out where they're from and stuff. But she's from the US, but she lives in Peru. She's an extremely kind soul, and she's an amazing physical therapist that has chosen to use her life to help like children and some adults in Peru with physical therapy needs. She works in a clinic there. She does a lot of hard work. She runs the clinic. She's in charge of a lot of stuff there, and on top of it is the physical therapist. And yeah, she just sees some really hard cases, and it's just really like what she does is a huge gift to people. Like, these kids are not able to walk, or have like really severe disabilities, and she works with them and tries to help them function, tries to help their parents to know how to help them, the kids, and educate the families. It's yeah, so she's amazing, and we just have a really fun time together. The memory that is fun to think of with her is we were all sitting around in a group of our close friends at the time, and we were playing this game with Play-Doh. Everyone had their own piece of Play-Doh, and we would say like dinosaur, and everyone would have we'd turn a timer or something, and it would be like we'd all have 1 minute to make a dinosaur with our Play-Doh. And then I think at the end we'd compare them. I think we probably voted on the best one. I feel like I remember one was a shoe. We all had to make a shoe of our Play-Doh. I remember it being blue and green Play-Doh that we were playing with, and we just all laughed so much. My sibling was a part of that friend group too, so we were just having a blast. It was so fun. Yeah, so that's the second J. Okay, put this here. Alright, I'm gonna go for a more recent friendship now, and the item that I have to represent that is this cute little koala bear toy. This is my friend. We'll call her R. She's Egyptian. I met her in Egypt, where I live now. In fact, I just did a back scratching video with her a couple weeks ago. So if you saw that video with her scratching her back, that's her. She's like a bubbly little kid all the time. She's like a kid, and I love that because I'm very so just getting to like be playful with people, I love it. I just like that so much. It's like, and so I just love that she's like that. She's like so innocent. She's so innocent, so playful. Like, she loves the color pink, and like her room has like, it looks like a little girl's room in a way. It's so cute. She's just really fun. I met her, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of a class called Pound. It's like a mixture of like dancing and like drumsticks. It's really fun. She's incredible, has great rhythm. She teaches that now. We met when we were taking the class together, and now she's been an instructor for a while. Look at the cute little shamrock going back and forth. That's so cute. This, not shamrock, is that also called a shamrock? Four-leaf clover. That also reminds me of Jay. The Jay with the Play-Doh Jay. Long story, but whenever she sees these, it's at very specific, she sees these at like very specific times when God is like speaking something very important to her. It happens really pronounced moments and very, infrequently, but like at these amazing moments. That reminds me of her. Anyway, so I'd say the thing that I really love doing with R, we have like really girly days together. So we'll sit and like watch a show together while we brush each other's hair, scratch each other's backs, and eat like dessert. It's awesome. It's awesome. A couple weeks ago when I made that video with her, we had Krispy Kreme donuts, and we ended up not even watching something because we were catching up the whole time, I think. But I really love her innocence. And her playfulness. So she's my closest friend in Egypt, and I'm really thankful for her. And so this just made me think of her little squishy cute toy. She would love this. Okay, I just had to like move those rings. So this could actually represent two of my friends very well. But I'm using this to represent my friend A. Makes me think of Pretty Little Liars, if you know that show. My friend A. That's just her initial, her first name. So the reason that I think of this is just because she and her husband are two of my best friends in the world, and we always play Settlers of Catan together. I always play with my friend, my J friend with the rings, and her husband, who's also one of my best friends as well, though. So this could actually kind of work for both. But yeah, we love playing it. She's so incredibly intelligent. She's very hard on herself, though, and so I'm always trying to encourage her, because she's just such a kind person and like so caring for other people. She puts people before herself. She's very selfless. So yeah, she's so, I lost my words. I'm really thankful for her. Just like a really true friend. I think the thing that I thought of that stands out the most to me in terms of my friendship with her is that when she prays, she like has, I don't know if I've ever shared this with you guys, but she and I kind of share this, that sometimes when we pray, we kind of like, what's the word? Like hear or see like a word or a vision or a picture that God might be sharing with someone to speak to them and encourage them. And I'm careful about that because I always want to make sure that if I see or hear something that I'm being as accurate as possible. And I always give the caveat, like, I do my best to hear God, but I'm human. I have no idea what I'm doing in this world. Take it for what it's worth. But a lot of times it's quite significant to the person. So she has this too, like where she, and there have been 2 or 3 times where she's shared something with me that were like crazy, wild, and really like God used to really help me through, just to speak to me and bring me through something really hard. Is actually the divorce that I went through. I actually for the first time shared with you guys just briefly that story in my most recent Q&A that I did like maybe a month and a half ago or something. If you want to hear about that, I shared what happened in that video. But it was so amazing. I'll just share this one piece about her, a special moment with her. Before anything went down in my relationship with my ex-husband, where I needed to divorce him, before things were even near that point, like there was no, basically she didn't know what was going on yet, and she just, I think the only thing she might have known is we had asked her to pray, like, hey, pray, things have been rough, but she didn't know much more than that at that time. Now she knows every detail, of course, but this was really early on in a process that you guys can listen to that elsewhere. But yeah, she said to me, I had this like vision, and she described it, and essentially it was like this kind of like platform, like a platform that me and my ex-husband were standing on, and then suddenly God took a sword, like a big sword, and just slammed the sword into the foundation, and it just broke completely. And then she saw me like in a later, anyway, I'll just tell it as like one kind of vision, even though it's kind of broken up into pieces, but essentially my ex-husband left the visual, and it was just me there, and I had to pull the sword out, and I took it and I pulled it out of that foundation, and yeah, and it was so encouraging to me because you'd have to hear the story, so it's kind of hard to explain it in this context, but it was very clear that God knew what had been going on, and that it was built on lies. The foundation was an absolute lie, and I didn't know that, and God broke that and was like, no, this is not okay, this is not okay, and like it's like his, almost like his righteousness, like, no. And then later I found out, after that I found out things that were just shocking. So this shocked me. So I didn't know at the time when she had that vision. She didn't know at the time when she had that vision. So it's pretty amazing. So yeah, that's my friend. That's A. Okay. The next person I'm going to talk about is actually, I'm going to use this pillow as the item, because the item that I chose for her is a pillow. So we're going to stick with this one to give you some more of the smoothing and scratching sounds. So this is my precious friend S. And we were roommates when we were younger. So she's it's like like you're with a Disney princess or something. Like, she's got this like joyful, playful, fun, just light-hearted air to her, and she's just up for anything fun. Like, yeah. She's got a great sense of humor, and when we lived together we did a bunch of funny things in our apartment. So I felt like we were actually talking recently about this this memory we have, and I think it kind of captures our relationship in a way too, in a sense. So we first moved in to be roommates. You know, we'd been friends for a long time at that point, and yeah, we got the opportunity to do that. It was only for like a year and a half, but it was very fun. So we decided to have like a housewarming party. It's an apartment, but whatever. And we were laughing at ourselves recently because we were like, well, we don't want people to bring us like expensive gifts or something like that. We just want to have like a little party with our friends and like have people come over, and we'll call it a housewarming party. And you know what, we'll have them bring a pillow. We're going to call it our pillow party, because at the time, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't have a couch yet, so we thought it'd be funny if we just had tons of pillows everywhere. So we told everyone to please just bring a pillow. But we were laughing like literally like 2 weeks ago, we were laughing about this. She's like, you know what's funny? We were both asking them to bring pillows because we didn't want them to spend money on a gift. But now, like, as adults, we realize how expensive throw pillows are. They're super expensive. And people brought these like fun, unique pillows, you know, like throw pillows, cushions for your couch, you know, not like a sleeping pillow. Anyway, that was really funny. We were laughing. We're like, man, there's people probably had to pay a lot of money for those pillows. Oops, that was not our intention. And then we just had like this huge picture of the world on the wall, and we made it together, right? Yeah, we had like this world map or something. I feel like we did like some collage with it. It was really beautiful and really meaningful. I just feel really known by her. I felt like unconditionally loved by her. And she's always made me feel quite special. Yeah, we were both in each other's weddings, and it just means like a lot. I'm getting a little teary-eyed. The other thing that's really special is we have really different beliefs right now in terms of like politics and stuff, but we've been able to have like a really loving conversation about our beliefs and about why we believe what we do and share. And I think that's very rare, to be friends with someone. Like, we've been friends for so long that we can talk about that and like have it not even affect our friendship, even though we disagree, you know. And we're both trying so hard not to hurt the other person's feelings but still say what we believe. So I think that says a lot about our friendship, to be able to do that. So, okay, I'm back. That one took me a little time to recover from. Okay, next, the next item that I have, I actually had 2 items, and I'm just going to use both of them, I guess. The first one, this is my friend that starts with F, so we'll call her F. One of the most incredible women I've ever met in my life. Okay, so she grew up in... Oh, by the way, S is from the US. I don't think I said where she was from. Did I say... Yeah, I think I said everywhere. Oh, and A also. I didn't mention where A was from. A is Cantonese, yeah, born in Hong Kong but went to the US at age 7 and has lived there ever since. So those are the backgrounds. But I love all the like different richness of all the different backgrounds and stuff. So this friend, she is American, but she grew up in Chile, and then later her family lived in Kazakhstan for a long time. So she grew up outside of the US and speaks Spanish, she speaks Kazakh, she speaks another language that's spoken in Afghanistan that I can never remember the name of, Dari. I think it's called Dari. Because she lived in Afghanistan for quite a while. She was in the Air Force, the US Air Force, after moving back to the US. She was in the Air Force Academy as like, there's not that many women in comparison to men that do that in the first place. I think you have to like be appointed by like a senator, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, the reason that I have a sari here is because when she got married, she had all of her bridesmaids wear like the clothing of another culture that they were a part of or lived in, or their ethnic heritage kind of thing. I had just lived in India prior to her getting married, I think is what it was, or maybe, yeah, it was like over a period of 5 years that I was in and out of India. So I wore a sari, and this isn't the one I wore, but it just makes me think of her and her love for people in the world and care for women. She's very passionate about Afghan women and about poetry. She's one of the most passionate persons I've ever met in my life. You know what? I think I would say she's up there. She's up there with the most passionate people I've ever met in my life. Okay, you know what? The other item doesn't really fit on screen anyway, but I'll show it to you. Okay. It's a succulent, and I really just wanted some kind of like representation of a tree, but I couldn't get a tree in the video, obviously, because this girl is extremely brave. And like a famous story in her family is her mom couldn't find her one day, and she like went outside looking for her, and she found her at the very top of a tree, a very tall, I think it was a pine tree. No, anyway, it doesn't matter what kind of tree. She was at the top of a very tall tree, and she was like young. And I'd say I have a lot of memories with her that are like very adventurous. Gosh, wow, I have a lot of memories with her that are fun. I remember doing runs with her in the rain, just like going on a run, just full rain. We would sit on the roof wherever we were. Somehow we'd end up on a roof with her, and that's not me, that's her. She's the roof girl. She'd be like, "You want to go sit on the roof?" I'd be like, "Yeah, let's go sit on the roof." I never would have done that on my own though. This is like all her. And we would sit and just hang out on the roof and have these great conversations. But my all-time favorite memory with her is we were on a hike together, and we'd both never been on the hike or something like that. And we suddenly came upon a waterfall. Now, we both thought we had discovered this waterfall on this hike because we had been hiking for a long time. We weren't told there was like a waterfall in this hike. And there was no, I don't know. Oh, that's what it was. I remember why. She never followed the trails. She'd go off trail. And so we didn't see like, hey, there's a waterfall coming. We ended up at a waterfall and we were off trail. Don't do that. Don't do that. She was in the Air Force. Don't do that. She does that, but we don't do that. I was with her and I was stupid to do that. And honestly, it was actually very safe. We weren't in an unsafe situation, so, but still, don't do that. Anyway, we end up at this waterfall. We think it's the greatest thing. We're pretty young. We both decide we're gonna like take our shirts off so that we can just like play in the water. And so we had like our sports bras on because we were hiking. I think we had like shorts and sports bras. And we're like playing in the water. And then suddenly we start seeing people approaching. And we're like, people, get your clothes on, people. We start like hurrying to put our shirts on. Turns out everyone knew about the waterfall. Everyone's hiking to the waterfall. We were young and real stupid, so there's that. We're still both pretty stupid. We both do things that other people might not feel comfortable with, but we like it that way. Okay, and you know what? The next thing, I wanted to have corn, like a can of corn, but we don't have any corn. So I'm gonna just tap randomly on this. This is our air conditioner remote. But for my next friend, we'll call her Kay. I want you to pretend this is corn. A big stalk of corn? Big, what's it called? Big something of corn. And the reason is because she's from the US, born and raised in the US, from a different state than I am originally, but she also came to the state where I lived to I think it was for work or something like that. Anyway, we became close friends quickly. We call each other Boo. She's my boo, I'm her boo. That's it. Easiest person to get along with in the world. I adore her. She was also a bridesmaid. All these people, anyone who was in my life at the time was a bridesmaid. And the reason I think of corn when I think of her is because she would always tell me that in her family she's considered like this big traveller because she had left her state. And like she was from a place that literally was all corn. All corn. And she described it to me, but like I hadn't been in a situation like that before where it was just cornfields. And we'd been friends for quite a while at this time. She was getting married and living back in her home state at this time. So I flew to go to her wedding, and I was staying at her family's house the night before her wedding. And I kid you not, driving up to her home, I remember distinctly, I was crying like out of joy and happiness because I was like, I can't believe she lives in the middle of these cornfields. It was no joke. I had to drive so long through cornfields with no house in sight to get into this little maze of corn and find her little house, her family's house. It was amazing. And that's when I was like, that's why her family considers her so adventurous for like moving to a different state. Like she literally lived in this area where she went to school with a very small amount of kids and all this stuff. It was just amazing. So this is our corn, pretend. And that was my favourite memory with her because I remember walking through this like cornfield and just seeing her standing there. And she's just such a kind, innocent person, and yeah, it just was really sweet to see her standing there. I think I ran to her and was like crying, like, "Boo, Boo, this is really where you live." So we call each other Boo. Okay, I still have another one. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay, this is also a random item because the item that I would choose for this friend, she's also A, would really be a piano. But obviously I couldn't do a real piano, but I don't even have like something small that represented piano or singing or music. And Gabriella, whose custom video this is, had requested some spray sounds, water bottle like spray sounds like this. So this is going to be A's item. But really, if I could choose something, it would be music related. I kept looking around my space thinking, what do I have? But then when I remembered I needed some spray sounds, I knew she'd be fine with that. So we're just going to spray a bit as we talk about it. Oh, I love that sound too. So this is she is from Switzerland, and she came to the US to study music, singing. She's an incredible singer. In fact, she's been on the radio in her country before. Incredible artist. I'd say, yeah, of all my closest friends, she and I are like, it's hard to explain, but I feel like we're really similar. And we just had this like heart tie. I think it was like this artist in us and this love for God that we both shared that was like, just, I don't know, very special. And yeah, so I've been friends. I keep forgetting to say the years I've known these people, but that's okay. So this it's probably been over 20 years knowing her too. Yeah, she's also the other one. It's like 21, something like that, years. We're both extremely passionate people. She's another one of the most passionate people I've met. And her voice is magical. She's composing right now like this music piece where she's composing like the music for the instruments and the voice. Anyway, my favorite memory with her is we became really quick friends. Like when we met, it was just like love at first sight, you know, like just we were best friends immediately for life, that kind of thing, you know. And yeah, we had like kindred spirits. Is that, maybe that's the word I'm looking for, the phrase, kindred spirits in some way. Anyway, we go to her studio, like her school had studios inside of it because it was a music studio, a music school, I mean. And yeah, she got on the piano. Again, I think we've probably been friends for like maybe a month or two at this point, not that long. And she got on the piano to show me what she did, and I was like blown away. She started playing and singing, and then as I watched, I just started dancing, and I started dancing to her playing, and it was like our styles combined. Like the way that I express myself when I dance is the way she plays music and sings, and vice versa. It was like I could express what she was trying to say in my movement, and what I was doing in my movement she was doing in song, and it was like so special. We got to make like just a fun for us project music video together one time. It was just our project where she sang and I danced. There was another time when she sang live and I danced, maybe once or twice. But anyway, that was such a special memory because it came so like instinctually to both of us, and we just, like, it was a long time. She was playing and singing and I was just like dancing in this studio. It was like a magical moment, you know, like maybe 30 minutes or even up to an hour. Yeah, no, so that was like 20, I think I've known her for like 20 years. best friend is my husband. I wanted to include, I know it's like mostly doing my girlfriends. I don't really have, I do have some, like I mentioned, some guy friends, but they're like my friends' husbands, you know, like I don't have any friends that are guys that it's just the guy. It's always like a couple or something. I do though. I do have a few friends that are like real heart friends that are guys, but not that I stay like, not that I talk to as much as like these girls that I'm talking about now. So my husband is like my best friend, and so I couldn't not include him. So yeah, he's just he's just so incredibly supportive. He makes me feel so safe. We do everything together. We love we're so playful together. We have serious talks about deep things in life all the time. And yeah, he's just my best friend, so had to include him, even though it's like kind of a different category of friendship too, because he's my husband too, my romantic partner. But yeah, I'd say that the like, if I had to choose one moment that really sticks out in my relationship with him, it'd be the day we got married. There was just this moment we looked at each other, and it was like a feeling that I can't describe. But it was like so safe and so like final, like a feeling of like finally we're married. And yeah, and then like just I'd say my other favorite memories, like moments with him, it's just we start laughing really hard, and we like both don't speak each other's language perfectly, so we're just dying laughing all the time and making jokes at what the other person said, and just love that he laughs with me. And that he literally puts me before himself in everything. He thinks of me the moment he wakes up, and how he can love me better that day. Like, which is a very redeeming experience from my past. So, yeah. So those are my best friends. That was a really special video to get to film. Thank you guys. If you made it to this part, thank you so much. Yeah, that means a lot that you even listened. And thank you, Gabriella, for requesting this video. I hope it was relaxing, kind of fun to hear about different personalities, different people. Some that I've known since I was super young, and some that I've met more recently. Sorry, I totally forgot at one point to like say how long I had known different people, but that's fine. Anywhere between, I think I started like 20 years ago, and then like up to 3 years ago was my most recent friend in Egypt, so everyone else is between that. And honestly, there's others that I could have mentioned, but this is, I don't know, this is like the tightest group for me right now in my life. So, okay, you guys, I love you guys, and I'm appreciative of you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, and I hope to see you guys in the next videos. Bye for now.